Okay, it is officially the first day of 2020, and we are like starting right away with the team call because that's the kind of year we're gonna have. Like the fact that we're doing a call on January 1st, first thing in the morning. Well, I feel like 10 a.m. Pacific time is first thing in the morning on January 1st. Like that was like as early as I was like, we can't do it before 10 a.m. or 1 a.m. So, or 1 p.m. That is just showing and setting the tone for what is going to happen in 2020 because it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of fun. But I really want to today talk about having this be the year of you. And I think like we all set personal goals. Like I don't think that's like something we don't do with resolutions, right? Like I'm not going to drink soda or I'm, going to lose however many pounds. But I really want us to go in more detail and set things up for you for the year because life is going to happen every single year. I've been a coach now for many moons, many moons. And every New Year's, I'm like, this year was not the year I thought it was going to be. And I'm understanding now that like it's never going to be the year that you think it's going to be. Um, I didn't even do like a New Year's post because I couldn't, well, I'm feeling better today, but yesterday I felt super sick and I just couldn't really find the words. But when I look back at 2019, I am like, oh my gosh, it was such a great year. But then when I start to think about the details, I struggled really hard this year, like with postpartum depression and a lot of self doubt and a lot of things. But I kept showing up and I kept pushing through. And so my reflection of the year is something super positive because internally when you push through things that are going on, when you push through life and you like survive, and you guys, like we always survive even if awful things happen, even if tragedy strikes, if it doesn't go how we want it to go, if like seriously really tragic things happen when you're a coach. Like just because you become a coach doesn't mean like you have the shield up and life doesn't hit you. It's going to hit you. It's just when you continue to show up through those things, you have this sense of pride. And then the proud feeling, it's like the movie Inside Out, which is so dumb if you've heard it. But one of her favorite memories is a sad memory that she like essentially recovers from, and it turns into a happy memory, and it's like a sense of pride. Oh my gosh, like that wasn't in my notes, that just came to me because I'm such a Disney fanatic. But seriously, like that is what it is, and that is being a coach. You are already qualified enough to lead a huge team. You are already qualified enough to make Success Club. Your body is perfect the way it is. You are already a leader. You already have the skills. You have everything you need right now, today. You have it all. But life is going to smack you in the face all year long with different things, right? Sometimes they're big things, sometimes they're small things that feel like big things, like when your kids can't get better and you just feel like you're on the puke bucket roundabout for forever. Or there's, job losses, deaths, serious things, moves. I have worked this business through every hard thing. Well, maybe not every, because I have not experienced everything ever, but I have moved across country while working. I have been pregnant. I have been in labor. I have birthed babies. I have done all of the things while working this business. And now, while we can never compare our journey to anyone else's as a coach, know that today is January 1st, 2020, and the entire network starts at zero. We all are on the same page. Ashley Molstead and I, we are equal right now. We are equal. Her growth and my growth, your growth and her growth, the coach that's really great that shows up at your Super Saturday, everybody is equal. But the thing that is going to make you stand out in 2020 is going to be your relentless ability to show up for you through this entire year. So I want to talk about things that you can do, that you can start doing, bounce some ideas of things that have helped my inner growth, because you guys know that personal development is my jam. And if like I had a thing, this is it. Like this is my jam. And when you're a coach, so often we give ourselves the excuse of, I'm not there yet. I don't have the body, I don't have the mind, I don't have the team, I haven't made the income, I don't. Well, guess what? We're removing that, because that holds no weight. The higher you get to the top in this company, the less they talk about the money they've made, the accolades they have, or the abs that they've earned. They don't talk about that shit. They talk about what Beachbody has done for their mind. They talk about the lives that they've impacted. And right now, it is free to tell someone on social media that you love them, or maybe not love, but you think they're beautiful, or you love their shirt, or spread kindness. It costs you no money to build relationships with people on social, just like I built them all with you. It takes no money. Hey, Rachel, that was like you like froze mid-jump as you were jumping into the screen. It takes no money to invite them and say, hey, do you want to do this together? This has been changing my life. For whatever reason, those reasons are personal to you. So the excuses that you have given yourself and you've let yourself have, we're releasing those. Those are staying in 2019. Bye. Bye-bye. So something that I don't follow any other coaches anymore besides one, because I don't know if you guys saw, like in November, Jamie Fitzpatrick had a heart attack. And so then I naturally started following that journey because I just wanted to see if he was okay. And I started to follow his wife. Now, I had been on a team call that Keisha hosted in, I don't know, I feel like it was the early spring. I don't really know. And they did it. And it was a really great call. And I had heard about this couple. They had earned the CEO award like together. They just impact the network in such a great way. They're just like really big hearted people. And so I like knew about them, but I didn't really know about them. So I started following Kim, who is, I don't know if she ended up making top 10. We don't get to know like our end of the year stats until like a week or two from the end of the year. But anyways, the point is that she leads with her heart and with growth. And I was like, oh my God, like this is like truly, I love that. I just loved everything. And now that doesn't mean everyone needs to like go follow her, because we already do the things that she's doing. We already do the things that she's doing. I just felt so validated and so excited, but I felt excited from her excitement. And I'm already a coach. You know what I mean? Like I'm signed up. Like I buy all the things, and I'm already like, when I watched her stuff, I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like, yes. Like I just, you know what I mean? Like you just get excited. And her husband, his heart literally just stopped with no warning. And she has still continued to show up on social media every single day. That doesn't mean that every day she was like, got my workout in, cheese. No, she showed up real in her life where she's at right now and shared that this is effing hard, that she hadn't done a workout in a week. And then when she finally did that workout, she was like, oh my God, it felt good. And she cried through it. So as a coach, your job is to show that you can show up through everything and through the simple systems that we have, right? You push play. You don't have to craft a workout. You don't have to think about it. You don't even have to commute anywhere. Your job is to push play. Then your job is the same thing. The easiness we talk about, how there's no commute and I just push play. That's the same thing for your Shakeology. You could go to Whole Foods and spend $300, $400 and get the ingredients that are in Shakeology, grind it out, do the things, and have similar effects. You could do that because that is what Isabel Deichler was doing when she eventually partnered with, stop doing that. What is this alarm going off? Then she the co-creator of Shakeology. Like that, obviously that's how that happened, is that she like made it and then like now it's being like quote unquote mass produced. So that is the simplicity then with nutrition. And then we get to have even more. Is that right? How many times have we gone through things in our lives and we felt alone and we felt scared and we felt like we're never going to get through? I was trying to find a picture because I took a picture of myself laying, this is like super downer, but you know that I'm going to spin it to win it. I took a picture of myself legit burritoed in a blanket on my bedroom floor, and I can't find it because I felt so depressed. Postpartum depression sucks. I don't really have a further comment to that. I felt alone. I felt lonely. I felt hopeless. I felt awful. And I took a picture of myself because I knew that it was very similar to my emotional rock bottom. And that one day when I was feeling better, I would want to reflect back on that picture. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Maybe I didn't save it. I don't know. But what was I saying? So your ability to show up through the hard things is what helps you build a business. So how are you going to show up for you this year? So next week, Brenna and I are going to do a vision call, and we're going to like talk about like setting your vision and casting your vision and then backwards planning your goals and like all that kind of jazz, right? Which is super fun and super important. And I believe creating a vision, if you don't have a goal and you don't have a vision, you have no idea where you're going. You're just in the open sea, like drifting along. That's why Success Club is so powerful and why it has proven that when people are signing up coaches, are signing up customers, that then they're growing a business because then they're making more money. And then it's like, it's all it is putting like a tactable number system on a goal to help you. That's why Beachbody does everything. Every single thing it does is to help you. Because when you start a business, right, you might not, like when I started this business, I like didn't know how to like set goals unless it was an IEP goal. Like I didn't know how to like do that for myself. I didn't know how to do any of this. I taught myself all of this through personal development. And so what Beachbody does is it understands that there's a learning curve, that when you sign up, you don't have this knowledge, and it says, okay, let me help you. I'm going to give you your first few goals. Emerald, Success Club, Diamond, those things. That's why they recognize when you make Success Club 12 months in a row, you become an all-star. When you do it for 24 months, you become an all-star legend, because they give you these things to work for. And then later, when you're working towards them, you go, oh, I get it. I get that's why they set that goal for me, because now my income has grown, or now I have lots of clients who have transformations and whatever. So besides all of that, right? Because we know we have the things, we know we have all that. What are you going to do for you and your growth? So I think if I look around, is if everyone's not doing Bar Blend, like whatever program you're launching for you in the new year, right? You're launching a program, and so that's obvious. We're going to push play. We're going to honor ourselves in our own health and fitness journey, and we're going to get better at whatever you need to get better at. Meal planning, eating at all in the day, like making sure you're getting your shake every day, whatever it is, that is your goals already lined out kind of for you. Again, the simplicity, it's so beautiful. And then we have this kind of vague box on our Success Club tracker, which it's been so many weeks, you guys. Like, should I grab it? Should I hold it by my face? You haven't seen me hold it by my face in so long. Oh guys, here it is. There it is. I know you've had like withdrawals. It says personal development. Now, when I started, I naturally gravitated towards personal development because I have always jokingly admitted that I was incredibly broken. Like my dad and I, that was like a joke we said since I was like young, like, it's okay, you're just super broken, because but we in my family like kind of would make light of the dysfunction, we'll call it, that happened to kind of push through it. So, and my dad would say it because it'd be like, it would just, I mean, maybe other people, this is horrifying that we would call each other broken, but that was my normal. And I understood. I'm a logical person. To block my heart from hurting, logically would acknowledge that shit had happened and that I was, it was understandable that I would have a very large baggage that I carried with me. And so when they were like, hey, you have to do personal development, I was like, cool, pretty sure I should be doing that because I'm not in therapy yet and I probably should be. Like, I was like, I get it, I should do that. So I started personal development, and I did like The Slight Edge and The Compound Effect, which is what I tell everybody to read because it's great business, like understanding that this is not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to start something, but your tiny actions over time lead to results. Now they can lead to good results, or you can have tiny bites of pints of ice cream every night, and then they lead to weight you don't want to put on. Like that is the only example of the compound effect that, is just so wonderful. But then I did The Power of Vulnerability. And everybody is like, I don't want to do that book. Everybody. I told Brenna about this before Brenna was a challenger, before Brenna was a coach, because she was a social worker and Brene Brown is a social worker. And so I was like, Brenna, you have to do this book. Like, you have to do this book. And she was like, I seriously remember I was getting out of the shower. I was wrapped in a towel, sitting on my bed in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I was texting Brenna, and I could feel her dismiss in her text message that said, okay, I'll check it out. I could feel it. And I was like, okay, whatever. Everybody tells me they're like, because it sounds scary. The power of vulnerability. The vulnerability word comes up and everyone's like, no thanks. I'm not going to open my heart. But the point of the book is it just talks about to live a happy life, and a life where you feel really happy through the shit. When you feel really happy in the deep, dark struggles that everybody goes through and the happiness of life, you have to open your heart, right? Like, if you want to be in a relationship that has extreme love, then you have to like open your heart and like feel extreme love. You know what I mean? And that's why the children mess us up so bad, is because we automatically love them so much. We can't really block ourselves from that. And so then that's why we cry at commercials, and we cry when they're sleeping, and we cry when we think they're hurt. Like they are. So that book changed, and it's not even a book, it's a seminar that she recorded. It changed my life, you guys. Like, it, every time I've gone through dark periods, I go back to Brene Brown, because she puts things in such simple, light, and fluffy. She really keeps it light, yet so incredibly powerful ways. And so I listened to Power of Vulnerability, and I remember I taught summer school. I had been a coach for like 2 months. I'm listening to the audio, and I'm crying on the way to ESY. Crying, and I'm like drinking my shake, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole life has changed. I'm a coach, and like my heart is healing. Like, seriously. And honestly, why I stayed around so long is probably personal development. And the way that I felt when I did my workout, my shake, and my personal development. So, right, this business, I want you to sign 1 million coaches and become yourself. You know, Julie, you, Stacy, you, Danielle, I want you to hit all your business goals and do that. I want that for you. However, more than that, I want you to feel good no matter what. And when you do your workout, drink your shake, and listen to personal development on your way to your full-time job that you might not like, you will go into that job feeling so much better. And that is more powerful to me. And in turn, happiness is beautiful. So when we are happy and we're positive and we're excited, that energy is super, super attractive, right? There is so much negativity in the world. There's so much negativity on social media, and you being a light for people because you're just happy doing things that you maybe don't want to do, but you're happy because you feel good, is attractive. And then that in turn, people will then trust you for you to say, hey, you can literally just do what I'm doing. Like, you don't have to, like, it's not anything rocket science. Like, let's do it together. So happiness is super beautiful. That's what it is. And happiness and beauty, them together, has nothing to do with your size or your shape or anything like that. It is completely about the energy and your light shining from outside to inside, from inside to outside. So I challenge us as a team to create individual morning habits and be the team that shows those morning habits. And you have to fill up your bucket first. Now, I have a pretty extensive morning routine, but I don't work outside of the home full time. And so I'm able to do that. So when we're talking about our morning routines and when you're looking at other people's, understand that everybody walks a different pace of life, and you are already doing enough. Okay, like this is something we are going to work on this year as a team. You are already enough. You are doing enough. It doesn't matter what this person it doesn't doing. It doesn't matter what that person is doing, because they don't walk in your shoes. So, you know, Brenna, who works 11-hour shifts or 10.5-hour shifts, and then is gone like over almost 11.5 hours, cannot have a morning routine that allows her to do the hour routine that I do every day. But she does try to do pieces of different things, so that when it's just like our Success Club tracker, right? Like you want it to look well-rounded throughout the week. If you can't do it every single day, but you still meditated or did your vision or did gratitude 4 times a week, like that is still going to compound and add up into something good, right? So I think you should do your workout in the morning. This is, again, what I think, because you go into your day better. And I'm always going to come back to this. This is now like, you know, the Success Club tracker by my face was like the thing I did in 2019. Me bringing you back to your happiness is going to be the thing I did in 2020. So you cannot have the energy to go to work all day, to invite all night, to push for the big goals that we're going to push for. I'm going to push you this year, but you're not going to be able to show up if you're too tired and your energy is low. So we got to keep your energy high at all times. And when I push you and I say, hey, I'm challenging you to do 10 invites in the next hour at random times throughout the year, you're going to be like, I'm good. I'm here for it. I'm fucking here, excuse the language. I'm here for it because my energy and my cup is so full. So you need to do your workout in the morning. Honestly, it should be, this is, if I could craft your day for you, you're welcome. I think you should stumble out of your room, crusties in your eyes. You should drink your Energize, do your personal development in the 10 minutes that it takes you to chug your Energize. You should push play on your workout. You should make your shake. You should walk into your shower and, or no, please hold. You should get your shake, send 10 invites, then walk into the shower, take a shower while listening to personal development, and then drinking your shake and listening to personal development while you get ready. And then that's when you go off into your day. Because if you did that every single day, if you filled your cup up and you felt so good, so during that energized time, right, you could read 1 page of a personal development book and do your 5 things of gratitude. You could do your 10 goals for the day. It does not take long to do it. But when you grab your phone and start checking social and seeing, did that girl message me? What is this girl doing? Who else is up? Anybody get up? Who's up? Anybody? Well, maybe I didn't see them yet, so I'll just keep scrolling really fast. And oh my gosh, that girl had her baby. No, this is the year of you. This isn't the year of the girl randomly on social. So if that means, what I had to do recently is I delete Instagram before I go to bed. And then I downloaded the Boomerang app because I like to do certain boomerangs in the morning. And that was the excuse that I was telling myself, is that, well, I needed Instagram because I need my Boomerang app. No. Take a picture on your phone, download the Boomerang app, and then when you're done all of your shit, upload it. It's up for 24 hours. Nobody needs to see in that exact moment that you did your thing at 4:45, because the next morning at 4:45, did you go poop? Hold on. Come here.
Can I just jump in real fast? So Sam is so right. And I just wanted to say about like the morning routine, because everybody's different. And I know Julie's coach, Lindsay, and I have had this talk about the mornings and how important they are. And every successful coach will tell you, if you want to be successful, you have to get up before the sun does. You know, successful people get up early. Like, that is not like a phrase for, you know, it didn't come out of nowhere. And as somebody, like she said, who works 11.5-hour days, my morning routine looks a little different than Sam, but the concepts are the same. So finding a way to make it work for you, if you are somebody who's like full-time, like I wake up and I have a similar routine as Sam. But I shorten it. So we do 3 things of gratitude versus 10 goals, 10 things of gratitude. You know, I do my energize, I do my gratitude, I do my workout, and then I work my business, and I listen to personal development all the way to work. All of those things are still happening. So when I start my day, we're moving forward in a great pace. And that is the same thing that Sam does and you guys do. I don't check in with that's a new thing for all of us, is not checking in with each other and our teams. I don't check in with my girls until after my day is done or during my lunch break, because the reality is we all are here for each other. We all love each other, but we're all working our businesses at the same time, you know? So we have to be putting us first, interacting with the other people who are joining our teams, and then each other. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of times we're like, oh my God, babe, I love you so much. That cannot be our first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, checking off the list. And that was something that Brigitte and I talked about. She was like, you have to be super intentional. You have 0 time. And most of you guys have 0 time, extra time. So when you do have time, that needs to be spent taking action for yourself or growing your business. Like those are the 2. And then we always find time for each other. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting next to my kid and I'm like, oh my God, Julie, blah, blah. You know, like we always can find that time, but it's the intentional time. Go ahead, Sam, finish. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to see if anyone could notice that Cami just was digging for gold, like right on camera for everyone. No, Brenna is 100% right what she said. And every morning routine is going to look different. And we do love each other so much. And I think that's so powerful for our team. And it's very attractive. And I think that if we want to watch each other's stories, should be done at the end of the night when you're going to scroll anyways, right? Because here's the thing. If I get up at 4 a.m. or if I get up at 7 a.m., which hasn't happened in years, but if, you know, the kids sleep or whatever and I get up late, the point is I'm done with life and I'm drained by 7:30, really. You know what I mean? Like by like 7:30, I'm like to my max of giving and doing and laundry. And even when I worked full time, right? Like you're done with kids, you're done with your kids, you're done with life. Like you're just done, like everything. And so you're going to numb out anyways. And Brene Brown talks about that in The Power of Vulnerability, what numbing is. You're welcome. Subtle plug. It's not even going to be subtle anymore. It's going to be like you get a shout out when you do Power of Vulnerability. But when you're going to numb anyways. And so it might actually be a good reward at the end of the day to see what everyone else did and put in and how motivating that is. So basically, you know, this doesn't have to be like just me talking. Oh, there's a chat going. Sorry. So I used to hate mornings and roll my eyes every time. Yeah, and Rachel did. Rachel would be like, I'm not a morning person, so like don't bring it up to me. And I was like, okay. You know, I wait. I'm patient. I understand. And it's not because I'm like, I think I know everything, because I don't. I for sure don't know everything. But I listen to a shit ton of personal development. And outside of the Beachbody world, the thing that they say is you are your most productive the first thing in the morning. Now, if you have a tiny baby and you're not sleeping, like this is like Rachel Hollis, how she says, like, don't be dumb. Like if you're not getting any sleep, please don't wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Like, because then you're no good to anyone either. So there are always different seasons. And as a parent of 3 tiny kids, what can you do to shape the routine to work in your favor? When we talk about being intentional, I don't just mean you need to be intentional for your business life. You need to be intentional for your whole life if you want to be successful. That means intentionally getting on the floor and playing with your kids and leaning into that, because we love our kids. We want to be with them. That means intentionally doing a strict nighttime routine to allow you to have time after they go to bed. Same thing with a morning routine or whatever. Like, if you want to be successful in life and in this business and feel successful for yourself, you have to start getting intentional with those things. And that is going to be getting up early. Now, I think you should absolutely give yourself one day a week where you do nothing, that your brain is off, that you're unplugged, that you're sleeping in, that you're napping, that you're watching all the Netflix you want. But that's intentional too, right? That's intentional. I am intentionally allowing myself to be off versus being fearful, being scared, and then watching Netflix so I can avoid. One thing that I didn't realize I did, and I just realized it, even though I know I self-sabotage, but one thing I self-sabotage with is planning. Because if I don't have a plan and then things don't go how I want, I can say, well, just next month I'll just have a better plan and then it will go better. That's a way of protecting myself. So Brenna and I made the commitment, and I already kind of effed up, but it didn't count because it wasn't 2020 yet. We did the calendar, but I didn't make the calendar. And so then I was like, shit. But we've committed to each other that the second week of the month we'll plan the month next. And then so that I can get one, the calendar for myself, and then two, to the calendar you guys can choose to use, because of course you guys are not held to what we do. But if you want to do the things that we're doing in regards to combining with challenge groups and stuff like that, then the plan to then do that if you want. And then taking the thought, the emotion, if you have a structure, right? And you can get so automatic, just like you are automatically doing things like, whatever your routine is to brush your teeth or in the shower, you have a routine in the shower and you don't even think about it. Well, get to a place where your morning routine is like your shower. You're not even thinking about it, that it's so ironclad tight that you can fill your cup up. And then if you get 10 quality invites in of the people that you really want or whatever, and then your day goes to crap, at least you got that done, right? Send your messages first thing in the morning, because then later at night when you're watching TV or you're just hanging out and you're doing nothing, it's so easy to answer messages, right? Just talking to people. It's literally takes no effort. And we're doing it anyways. When people are like, I just don't have time. F you, and lovingly F you to you people. You guys are on the team. It's different. It's like when other people want to join and they're like, I just don't have time. And I'm like, F you, you're watching Netflix. And I'm not judging, because I am the queen of Netflix. I'm not allowed to watch a true crime documentary because literally stop everything. I have to know who did it or who, how they caught him. I have to know. I die. I literally, when Handmaid's Tale is on Wednesdays, when I wake up at 4 a.m., I watch it because I have to know. I have to know what happened. I become obsessed. So I understand the temptation. I am not someone who doesn't have the same temptations. Truly. I am someone who has them. We had TV on all the time. My mom was an addict. And when you are an addict, when you have an addictive personality, that's not just to drugs. That's to everything. So when my mom would love a movie, we would watch it on repeat. I could tell you every line in The Bourne Identity that has ever been. I could tell you every fight move he has done, because my mom thought that Matt Damon was the cutest, and she, we would just watch it, and Good Will Hunting and all of the things. And so I have that. I have that in part of me. So I get that the temptation is there. But you, this being the year of you, this is actually me asking you now. You can write it down or you can put it in the chat if you feel comfortable. How do you want to feel? And I don't even care at the end of 2020, just in general. How do you want to feel? What are you working towards? Because some goals take longer than a year and some take shorter, right? Not everything is a calendar-worthy goal. However, there's something exciting and fresh about January 1, and you get to be whoever you want to be. And so how do you want to feel? What are the qualities that you want to have? Is that quality just that your energy is up and that you're smiling and that you're positive and that you're giving, or that you're more present with your kids? As you as a person, what do you want to work on? Confidence, that limiting belief stuff, believing in yourself. I write in my top 10 goals every single day that I am consistent and believe in myself, because that's not a goal that's one of the goals that you hit and leave. You know what I mean? It's an income goal. You hit that and you've achieved it. But I am consistent and believe in myself is something I have to work on every single day, because that's not my natural that's not my natural thing. My natural is fear. And just like I write in my goals, I am a present, what is it? A playful, present, and patient mom, because that's not my natural. It's not my natural. It takes really a lot of intention for me to like not scream at Cammy by 7:42 in the morning. So this year is about you becoming you. And yes, we're going to talk business goals. We're going to have live action power hours all the time. We're going to have live workouts. We're going to, on Sundays, we're going to have planning sessions. So we're going to all get out our calendar for the week, and we're going to, I'm going to help model. And then eventually you guys are going to lead and help model. Hey, Kate, this is my plan for the week. What do we have? Challenge groups coming up? Do we have sneak peeks coming up? What am I inviting to? What is my invite going to look like? So that there is no thinking. We're going to do all that. But you have to show up to the day who you want to be. And that is going to take work. And this is so silly, but like, what about some self-care stuff? Who doesn't wash their face before night because they're so crazy they just pass out? Like, that's me. I would like to be somebody who is has an abundance mindset with time, because I always my natural is to feel scarcity, is to feel like there's not enough time. I have to do everything in the cracks. La, 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 la. I want to have an abundance mindset that says, oh, it's 8:30. Let me begin my, you know what I mean? Like, let me just, because I feel good. The other night, I like took a shower before night and went to bed with like a full, my face was washed and it was like moisturized. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so good. This is why people do that. Silly. It's silly. But when you feel good, you do good. Okay? Like, I don't just come up with these things out of my ass. Sorry, Pay. Oh, sorry, Pay. When you feel good, you do good. When you feel good, right? Danielle, who has not followed Danielle this fall and has been like, girl is fire. She does her workout and then she just is sweaty and she's like, this is how I feel. It is incredible. You are welcome. That is energetic. You want to see what she has to say. When you feel good, you do good. When your energy is high, happiness is attractive. Like, and then people are like, what is she doing? And again, we know, right? We know that we're planting the seeds. We know we have to do the work. But if you're coming to your day to look down at your Success Club tracker and you're tired, depleted, and feel like shit, it's going to be real easy to say, do I want to send 10 invites or do I want to watch you? Which one? And it's going to be real easy to switch over, right? So, what are some things that, 18 messages. Oh my gosh, people are saying. Yeah. So, and Julie, as someone who also has that a lot and a lot of anxiety, is that you have to set up a structure. And this isn't just to Julie, because I know if Julie's asking, right, there are other people in the class who are thinking the same question. You have to set up a structure that allows yourself to be successful. I'm going to tell you right now that social media is giving you more anxiety. So you're going to need to cut it. There are now settings on your phone that won't even let you look at your, like it shuts it down before a certain time and it opens it up at another time. Kind of like you're parental locking yourself. And I think it's so good. It's so powerful because we feel, even just the fact of the images, you know, you're scrolling through stories so quickly and you're intaking so much information, and then your brain is then supposed to switch and do something else. That's not how our brains work. You need to have quiet. You need to have quiet. You need to allow yourself to think. You need to have notebooks around so that you can jot down ideas for posts, for, you know, things that you're having happening. Because if you look at, I'm going to say it. I have a hard time like being my own, having confidence in myself. Like, I'm pretty sure we're premier and I like can't even talk about it yet, but like I'm a successful coach. And if you look at my social media, I'm not like, oh my gosh, like we're doing this and it's so incredible. I just want you to know that I almost blacked out when I said I was a premier coach. Like, like I'm still seeing like black spots. Like, it is mind blowing to me. Anyways, but it's about the growth that I'm having or thinking about and the thoughts that I'm having. and then I'm transferring that into a post or into a story. It's my journey. This is my show on social media. You can come watch Samantha Rosenthal, at whatever time you want. She's on. And then the growth that I've had, the transformation of the inner or whatever, like, it doesn't even matter. It can be transformation from like last week to this week of you being intentional. Then people say like, oh, okay, I think I want to do that, right? Like, and you look at these coaches, nobody's like, sometimes they do because we want to show that this business model works of like, oh, I have earned $1 million or I have done that stuff. But the higher you go, the more that they say that the income, that as their income grows, it becomes unrelatable. So when you earn $50 because you worked on yourself and you did it, you need to share that, because someone who's not a coach and someone who just becomes a coach, there's a very small space that divides, right? As someone is a top coach and someone is not a coach, that is a very large space. So sometimes it's so unrelatable to say, oh, like when Ashley Moe said in the beginning of the year, when I was following her, she said in one paycheck, she earned more than what she had earned as an annual salary at Nike. That's mind-blowing, right? Like, that's not even something I can relate to, because I'm like, how do you make over probably $50,000 in 1 week? Blows my mind. But when someone's like, hey, I just made $600 in a paycheck, like, that doesn't seem so far, or $200 or $50, that seems so relatable. So going back to what I said in the beginning of, you are already a leader. You are already beautiful. You are already the size, the weight, the shape, the hair color, the eye color that you were meant to be, and you are perfect the way you are to lead this. If you are telling yourself a different story, it's an excuse. It's an excuse to give yourself a way out. You have things to say. You have thoughts. You have had experiences that nobody else has had. You have walked a life that is purposeful and is beautiful, and it's messy, and you're a little broken too, and you're healing, and everybody is pretty damn broken. And for you to show up relentlessly on your journey to being your best self every single mother effing day shows people, if she can, so can I. Well, she works full time. Well, she has a special needs son. Well, she's a stay-at-home mom. Well, she's a workout mom. Great, perfect. You have a story right now that needs to be told. So your habits are going to be what you show. And think of yourself as a teacher. Because when we come into this coaching, raise your hand if you had never done a personal development book before coaching. If you were someone who had never done a personal development book before coaching, right? Most of us. I had never. So when we're like having this fight, people don't even know what that is. They don't even understand, because they have never done that before. Maybe they had watched like a super motivating movie, and like Rocky's running up the thing, and you're like, yeah, that's it. Like they don't get that in audio form every day like we're getting. They don't know that there's a YouTube channel that you can watch that literally just plays Tony Robbins, and you're like feeling the Tony fire all morning for free, right? For free. These resources are there. They don't know about affirmations. They don't know about mirror work. They don't know about vision. So teach them. Teach them. And again, at the end of the day, if the worst thing that happens is you become incredibly confident and strong, like your mind becomes like, we want our minds to be as strong as Arnold is, right? Like compare it to that. Like your mind is like just this muscular, like just could crush you because it's so strong. At the end of the day, if that's what happens and you give people like good book suggestions and then they feel better, oh my God, isn't that still incredibly powerful and impactful for your life? Now, take that plus be so consistent with the business activity tracker, and you're doing your invites because you're feeling confident, and when we feel good, we do good. When we're feeling good and we're doing good and we're doing all that stuff, imagine where your business will be in a year from now. Imagine, seriously. And guess what? Spoiler alert, shit is going to happen all year long. You're going to get sick. Something's going to happen. You're not going to feel like doing it. You're going to have failures. Coaches are going to quit. You're going to go into qualification and you're going to drop. I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen. But if you never even try, then you're no further than where you are right now. And if you want this to be the year that changes anything in your life, you need to do things different. Don't think that I'm going to show up in 2020, but this year I'm protected because this year nothing will happen to me and then everything will go good. No, shit's going to happen. It's just going to look different. It's just going to look different. I'm going to tell you right now, guarantee you we will be transferred again. And it's going to be effing hard. And I promise you, every single day I will still show up on my social media. I'm not going to get my workout in. I'm going to binge eat Oreos at least 6 times this year. I already know it. But that's not my worth. But me showing up, sharing my journey, inspiring people that they can fall down and get back up, that is why I'm here. And that's why you're here. So, are you thinking of the things that you're going to do? So, something that I started doing because I'm an audio, AZ, Colorado. I don't know. Well, this is my life. You know, who knows? All I know is we're not going East Coast. Sorry, East Coast lovers. I visited in the winter and we tried to just even be outside. And we were like, oh, no, it's just not for us. We just can't. I can't. Yeah. Okay, good. Because we're going to retire you and your husband, Danielle, and then you're going to get to move wherever you want to. And I would suggest down the street from me in Arizona. I will never go back. Yeah, I know. I saw Stacy. I didn't realize that Stacy was from back east too. And she's in Las Vegas. And it's like, Okay. So who's feeling fired up for 2020? Who is feeling fired up for 2020? Because I am so here for it. And I want you to know that if you're on this call and if you're like, okay, I'm here for it, but I'm terrified. I want you to know I get it. And I really do. And I just really, 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 really want you to understand that in a year, so many things can be different. So January 2018 is the year. Like if I look at my board, I need you to know that none of you were here, right? I had no coaches. I have one coach from 2017. That's it. Like I have one coach. So if you're sitting here and you're like, I only have like one coach, like one actual coach from the year 2017 when I ran my report the other day, it was like we're going to take action this year. And I didn't have any working coach. And Brenna was starting to work, right? Because we had gone to Summit in 2017 and we kind of caught the vision. But she didn't really start to work until spring 2018, because we are all on our own path and she had to get there in her head, just like I had to get there in my head. So people have said to me, well, at least you have Brenna. No, I didn't have Brenna for forever. And your Brenna's out there. Like the coach who needs you is out there. And because I can poke fun at her, homegirl signed up, said we were going to the top, then got pregnant and deleted everybody off her social media. So don't forget that literally you cannot wait for anybody, even Brenna or anybody. You can't wait because their life will happen to them and they have to go on that growth. So your worth. And that's the thing, you guys. I did a call and it was a pretty good one. It was 2018. It was like, what was it, Brenna? It was like, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And it all stays true of you cannot wait for anybody. And so easily, I do this too. I send the messages and then I wait for them to read them. You can't wait for them to even read them. You can't wait for them to read them. If you have an hour, you work for an hour and then you stand with your head held, head tall, and you go, I worked for an hour. Now I'm going to intentionally be with my kids for an hour. And then I'm going to intentionally wash my face before I go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Like, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and not waiting for anyone and understanding that I am on this train. 2020 is my year for me. for me, yes, we're going to help a lot of people, but I want to come out of 2020 and know that my soul and my mind are way stronger because I'm ready for it. I'm ready. And I know you're ready for it too. It's going to take work, and you're going to relapse on the binge watching train, like you're going to do it, but you're going to get right back up. So Success Club, all of y'all who are on this call, I don't care if you've never made it before. I don't care if you've made it every day last year. It is now your non-negotiable. So you need to act January 1 as if you need to make Success Club by the end of the week. Every week, act like it's the last week of the month, and do not wait for anybody. Honestly, you should probably have the goal of getting 10 people who say that they're absolutely buying to hope that 3 do. So I mean, like, carts out, Shako flavors picked, 10 of those people out there. And then it will domino, right? And then it will domino. And then all of a sudden, you're not just making Success Club 5, you're making Success Club 10, and then on and on and on. So I hope you're feeling the fire. I hope you're like, I am here for it. That was what I was starting to say, is that I am an audio person because I started to build this business when I worked full time. So there was no sitting and reading a book. There was none of that. It was like, go, 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 go. I have more flexibility with my time now, and I also get up massively earlier than I used to make time. And I've been reading like 1 or 2 physical pages and then sharing that on social media. Because, I mean, I have in the past like recorded some of the audio version of the books. But it's hard to be a teacher that way, right? Like, it's hard to be like, hey, I mean, you can share what your takeaway from personal development is, and I suggest you absolutely do that. But even if you just have a book that you read every once in a while, you know what I mean? It might be something that's powerful. I also have it's downstairs. I like structure. Weird, right, guys? Weird. You're talking about that. And sometimes a book, when I know I cannot read a chapter, it used to overwhelm me. Like, I would be like, oh, well, if I can't read a chapter, then like, what's the point? I'm like so dumb sometimes in my head. Seriously, that's what I think. So it was actually a gift from my coach when I went Diamond, and I never read it, but it's the John Maxwell. It's like a leadership book, but it's by calendar date. But there's a bunch of those. There's like a bunch of personal development books that literally just give you like a snippet and like a little passage about, like, you're on fire. So, I mean, if you're up for it, if you're here for it, maybe browse Barnes and Nobles or Amazon. And if it has, like, it literally, there's books that just have the date and then like a snippet of personal development. And that could be part of you drink your Energize and you do your gratitude and you read that one thing. And every single day I've taken something different away. So, okay, so if you're like taking notes, these are the things I suggest. Affirmations, which is huge, right, for Bar Blend if you're doing that. So we'll be doing affirmations naturally, but there are YouTube videos that literally will just do affirmations for success. And I used to listen in the shower, and it would be like, it's like, I am strong, I have abundance, I am, like, it was just like all these affirmations, and I really enjoyed that. At different phases in my life of coaching, I've done different things. So there's affirmations, mirror work, which I've started, and I'm laughing because it's so hard for me. But to like look yourself actually in the eyes. Don't look at your face or your boobs or your stomach, or look yourself in the eyes and say, I am beautiful, I am strong. Those things. It is really, really difficult, but it is really powerful. So I've started trying that. Not every day, like I've just kind of thought about it and did it. Your vision, which we're gonna like look for. So I'm gonna be posting stuff in the team page to help you start frameworking your vision. It is a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of time. And it's not something that like you're just done. Like, it's not like, oh, okay, I've completed it. It's like you're gonna add to it and like fine tune it. But you have to understand where you're going in this life and in your business. So reading, once we finish your vision, or maybe you already have one, reading it over and over, or reading it once a day, visualizing you buying the house, or visualizing you leaving the job that you don't like, or having another baby, or whatever it is. Gratitude, obviously, I think gratitude should be like a non-negotiable. It is like everything. And then just different personal developments for different phases of your life. So, okay. I can't read. Oh, that was by John C. Maxwell. And it was like leadership something. I can take a picture of it and send it to Brenna. Yeah. Yeah. So how are we feeling? You can unmute yourself if you have something to say, if you want to say something.
I'm just really freaking hyped. That's all.
You're welcome. You woke up hungover and now you're super hyped.
I did, and I'm like, who wants to send some invites? Let's fucking do it, you know? In my manly voice. No, I'm really excited. Sam was it's so funny, Sam, when you talk about our journey of coaching and how people like see us together now and how different that has, well, maybe how funny, how that's all come about, and the whole pregnancy thing, you're so right. And if Sam had waited for me or quit because no one was building the business with her, none of us would be here, including me. So it's just funny how the progression of the last couple of years. And so when you're thinking about where you are now and versus where you want to be and all of that, there's a huge vision there and huge milestones, but you don't necessarily see those or know those are happening. You're just doing the small baby actions and those things happen. You know, when I was a new mom and just got started as a coach and we're like, yeah, we're going to take on the world after summit. Like, taking on the world for me was like, I want to pay for my shakes and my nails. Like, that was like, would change my world every week, you know? So, and then, you know, after we're like, oh, shakes are paid for. Got it. Okay, what's next? Like, oh, like I could actually pay for like my car payment. Let's freaking do it. Oh, you know what? No, let's go for 10 stores. Like, I mean, you know, the vision changes, the goals change, but the actions are the same. But it's so cool to see every year the faces and the women who are like showing up for themselves and taking those baby action steps with us every day. And you know, in the last year, Sam's team, I remember when I was like there with a whole different group of girls, you know, and I was brand new, and I had girls who I was like, oh, I hope I can just get as far as they are in the business, you know, and they're not here today. So hold on, baby. No, eat your goldfish 1 second, okay? So just know, and Sam and I say this to each other all the time, but like, regardless, this is your business. Like, Sam's business is her business. You know, this is your business, and it can be what you want it to be. And you can have your own teams. This isn't about like that bigger vision for Sam or for me this is for you. Like, what do you want? What's the work you're willing to do? And 2020, it's cool to see all the different women with all different goals, all different lifestyles, but all showing up for their own big goals and their own big vision. I'm really excited for our vision call, Sam. Vision is something I've struggled with since day one. Also the personal development since day one. So, you know, Sam continues to just shove it in my face until eventually I say yes and dive head first. Power of vulnerability, I thought I was going to hate it. Okay, honestly, guys, which is part of the reason I was dismissive. I definitely didn't listen to it. Even when I was a coach for the first 6 months, I didn't do one personal development book. And they were like, you have to do it. I was like, yeah. No, like, you guys are, and I'm a social worker. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So anyways, but I listened to Power of Vulnerability the first time, and I called Sam like crying. And I'm not a crier. Sam's a crier. Okay, I'm not a crier, except at Summit. I am a crier at Summit. But I cried a lot, and I've listened to it 3 times since then. And Brene Brown is officially like, I want to go see her speak live, all the things. Okay, because she's funny. And yet, she's funny, yet like speaks to your soul. It's very confusing, but awesome. But I'm just, when you're doing personal development, I'm going to challenge you guys in 2020. For me personally, my big challenge to my girls is not only doing personal development that's for your soul, but also this is a business. So doing personal development for your business too, because we are business owners and there is that balance. Like, show up for yourself and show up for your business, and you have to do kind of both. So like, I'm always listening to a personal development that's for me and my confidence and my happiness and my drive. And then I'm listening to a skill-based personal development at the same time. And depending on where I'm at that day or whatever, I need that. So, you know, if you've never listened to a business personal development, the slight
They're not as scary as you think. Like,
they're totally amazing.
They're funny too, and they're light, and like, I mean, some of them, like, not every, just like every like rah book, you're not gonna like relate to. You're gonna be like, this is like too much for me, or not enough, or whatever. But the business are good. Like, then you get skills and exactly like
I'm confident.
I always think that, like, I think they're gonna be like more serious, and then they end up being like, just as truth bomby and fun, but just with skills. So I put 2 right there in the chat. Brenna loves GoPro, like that is like her jam, and then Go for No I think is really good too.
Really good. And all of those things, guys, the great part about personal development that's business related, you can listen to it like on the way to work, in the car. It's not necessarily always some of this other stuff where you're like, oh, I need to write this down and like this quote, I need to talk about it in a post later. It's not necessarily always something like that. You can listen to it and take action on it without having to put, like, all of mine is audible on the way to work. So I'm just, when you're thinking about your vision, I want you to think about your life, but how this business also goes into that life vision. That was something that changed for me. I was like, oh, this is a cool like side business. And the difference only came when I was like, oh, how can this business change my vision for my life? And so 2020 for me is all about feeling free, taking this business and using it to give me the freedom that I want in my life, period. So, and that might be different for you. Don't feel like that needs to be yours too. But this call was amazing, Sam. I'm really fucking excited. And I hope you girls are really ready to just, like, let's do this.
I'm like, seriously, guys, I want us to be a top 10 team. Like, I'm not saying that to like, be like, ooh, no. Like, one thing you have to realize too is when a year doesn't go how you want, every year you still learn something. So here's the thing you get to do. If 2019, because hey, I'm not going to be upset that we're a premier team, but technically the goal was elite, right? Technically the goal was 5-star elite. And so I understand, I learned a lot of why I didn't get there, of why we didn't get there, of what I needed to do, what I needed to help y'all do. Like, I understand that. So you need to reflect that too. And not that it's a negative thing, but if 2019 didn't go how you wanted, and you just try to duplicate that, you're going to have the same result. What do you need to tweak? What do you need to increase? What do you need to decrease? Like, so this is the year of you, but specifically this is the year of you learning. So get ready to be a student. Be ready to be completely ready to just learn how to be confident. Like, it's kind of like when kids are little and we think, why aren't they like doing what I want them to do? Like, we have to teach them how to be obedient. Not everyone shows up on this planet ready to listen. Not everybody is showing up on this planet with confidence. So you have to be willing to learn how to have the things you don't have, period. And if you think that people out there were just born that good, check yourself and realize that we are all equal. It's just some people are working harder to be the best version of themselves than maybe you are, than maybe I am. So I'm so effing fired. In my family, what is equivalent to Brenna's family page, our family page, Together We Are Better, we are going to be blowing that up this week with like prep week stuff for the bar, for 3-day refresh for those people who are doing it. For just adding value. Then I am going to be asking and leaning into the leaders who then have developed in 2019 of how to add value into that group, so that the people who are not doing the launches, and like I see Sarah sitting here and Stephanie who are not doing Bar Blend, I need your help to make that group add value. So when we have somebody, what's name? It's Dynago. When that person comes into the group, and because they got a 3-month BOD and they like couldn't swing a challenge pack, and we want to still help them. Our goal is still to help people change their lives, and we can't dictate that by just saying, well, if you didn't get a challenge pack, like, then good luck. No, it might not be the same experience, because I believe in Shakeology with my whole heart, with my whole soul. I know that my health changed because of that. But we can still help them. And so if they don't want to do a launch and they want their own accountability, so I need your help. And I'm going to be messaging you and leaning in on you to be leaders on this team. And team calls, we are not doing team calls with any other team anymore, unless like there's like a big thing going on, like, but at most it'd be like once a month, right? Brigida is doing something where if you, I think like she's teaming up with other 15 stars, and there are special, like if you earn Success Club calls, that will be like an incentive program. We're going to have trainings like on Sundays or mapping out or whatever. We're going to be doing power hours. Like, we're here to work, and I'm not waiting again until December to lock in certain things because I'll poop myself. I want next December us to be like chilling and relaxing and having the big things hit. So we're going to come out of the gate hard. We are all making Success Club this month. All of us, every single. Start going right now. Invite to the bar. Can I get an invite to the bar? Oh, well, Rachel, then I would have to have made it yet, and let's not get too out of control in Samantha's last minuteness. I'm working on it, but that group is 100% not created yet. So, no, you would definitely never miss out. No. And we're just starting prep week today, like, girlfriend. I'm like, whew, working on it. Hashtag Samantha's personal goals. Get her shit together, organized. So anyways, we're here for it. We're doing it. Let's go. Let's take a picture or a boomerang or whatever. Oh, and sorry, I can stop recording. Hold on.